So far with circles, we've been talking about central angles. So a central angle comes from the center. The vertex is at the center. So this is called a central angle. Another angle that we're going to work with today is called an inscribed angle. So an inscribed angle is an angle that is formed with an endpoint being on the circle. So the vertex is on the circle. So with this inscribed angle, you get what we call the intercepted arc. So the theorem reads that the measure of an inscribed angle is half the measure of its intercepted arc. So if you knew that this arc was 80 degrees, then the inscribed angle that makes it up is 40 degrees. It's half of it. So I'm going to highlight and use different things to show you what the inscribed angle is and intercepted arc is. So right here, example 1, you have that B right here, angle B, the measure of angle B to degrees is going to be half of A, because A forms its intercepted arc. Or maybe, okay, A might be PT right here, and because this is 30. So A plus 30 is going to be double what B is. So the arc that makes up A is right here. So the angle that matches up to A is right here. See how this angle is the inscribed angle of this arc? So if this angle is 60 degrees, then A has to be 120 degrees. So if A is 120 degrees, then this whole part needs to be 150 degrees. So we know that B has to be half of, I'll change color here so you can see. So B is this arc right here, or at this angle, and the intercepted arc is this part. So this part's 150 degrees, so B has to be 75 degrees. So let's look at example 2. It's actually simpler. So I'm only looking for angle 1 right here. So angle 1 is made up of this inscribed angle, so its intercepted arc is this part. Since this is the diameter, this has to be 180 degrees. So this arc right here is 180 degrees, which makes angle 1 90 degrees because it's half. Just for practice, we can do that. This is 40 degrees, so this angle is 20 degrees. And this arc is 70 degrees, so this angle is 35 degrees because it's inscribed. So for the example 3, I'm going to highlight what this angle 38 is. So that means that, or 38 degrees is, so this part has to be twice 38 degrees. So this part's going to be 76 degrees. If this is 76, this is an arc that's also formed by this angle. So angle 2 has to be half of 76. So angle 2 also has to be 38 degrees. It's kind of weird. So really, you didn't have to know this fact that this is 70 is kind of irrelevant. Okay, example 4. This right here is a diameter. So if this is a diameter, if I look at angle 1 is this angle, and it's made up by this arc right here. So that would make this whole green part that's squiggly 180 degrees. Therefore, angle 1 has to be 90 degrees. I could also do the same thing with angle 3. So angle 3 is made up by this diameter, so angle 3 also has to be 90 degrees. Angle 4, I'm going to switch color. Angle 4 is made up by these two segments, so this would be the arc. So this is 160, or 60 plus 80 is 140 degrees. That would make angle 4 100 or 70 degrees because it's half of 140 degrees. So inside here you have this quadrilateral. You have that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 adds up to 360. So we have 90 plus 90 plus 70 plus 110. So the measure of angle 2 has to be 110. You could also do it a different way. You could also do that angle 2 is made up by this angle. And this arc has to be 360 minus 140, which is 220. So this arc is 220. So this angle is half of that. So it really helps to use color to shade the sides of the angles that you're talking about so you can see the arc. Another theorem is the measure of an angle formed by a tangent. So remember, a tangent is going perpendicular, and the chord is half the measure of its arc. So this angle would be half the measure of this arc. This angle would be half this measure. So we're going to use that in example 5 right here. So you have a tangent line. This is a tangent right here. Remember, with a tangent, this has to be 90. So we could figure out y is 55 degrees because this makes up a triangle. They have to add up to 180. If that angle right here is 55 degrees, then this arc has to be twice it because 55 degrees is an inscribed angle, so this has to be 110. So now you have this diameter, 110 plus this has to equal 180. So look for semicircles, look for ones that add up to 180. So this angle has to be 70 right here. Or this arc has to be 70 degrees. So therefore this angle has to be half of that. It's 35 degrees. And then example 1. So use the fact that half of a circle is 180 and all the way around has to be 360 degrees. So I have 90 plus 96, so that's 186. So this arc has to be, even though it doesn't look like it, needs to be 174 degrees. So this is half of 174. So this is 87 degrees. Angle 2, or remember 2, I'm going to use that this right here is 200 degrees. So that must mean that if this is 200, then this cannot be a diameter. It might be close, but it's not a diameter. So this is 200 degrees. Therefore, this one has to be 100 degrees because this is the inscribed angle that makes up this intercepted arc. Use the fact that all three of these have to add up to 180 because it's in a triangle, and angle X has to be 40 degrees. Number 3, I'm going to use that if this is the angle, inscribed angle, the intercepted arc is 160 degrees. And all the way around has to be 360. So this is 160 plus 140 is 300. Right here is going to be 60 degrees. So X is 60 degrees. It's the arc. And angle measure, or number 4, if this is 160, this is a central angle. So the central angle is the same as the arc, so this has to be 90 degrees right here. So all the way around is 250. So this part right here has to be 110. So this purple part is 110 degrees. Therefore, angle X has to be half, so it has to be 55 degrees because it's tangent. And then number 5, I'm going to use that. This is 100 degrees. So this arc is 200. So the rest of the arc, for it to be a circle all the way around, this arc has to be 160 degrees. So therefore Y has to be 80 degrees. And now I can use that on the inside here makes a quadrilateral. So this plus this plus this plus this has to add up to 360. So X has to be 74. And then the last one, this must be this is an equilateral triangle. All sides are all equal. So remember that they're all 60 degrees. So this 60 degrees is an inscribed angle. So this measure right here has to be 120, has to be twice it.